Welcome to Vision, Impact, and Purpose. See your vision, walk in your purpose, and impact lives with your gifts and talents. Thank you for tuning in to listen to Tikwa, your Christian virtual assistant coach. Join Coach Tikwa as she shares her own journey, shifts your mindset, inspires you while sharing insights and tips for a profitable virtual assistant business along the way. Now here is your host, Tikwa, founder of PowerPo Assistants.
Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing? I hope that everybody had a wonderful, amazing day today. So I'm back again, y'all. I'm back again for part three of what my takeaways was from Madam C.J. Walker's series. So alongside with me is my longtime best friend, Latisha. You heard me speak about her, and I'm pretty sure people who are old timers in here know about her from the beginning days of Power Pro Assistance, where she was working with me in the group. So now she has her own business. She's a coach, a lifetime coach, and doing her thing and all that stuff. She even came in as a guest speaker for Virtual Assistant Business Workshop. So she is a mindset coach. So I'm just going to let her introduce herself, and then we're just going to dive into everything, okay?
Hey. As you guys know, I am Layla Latisha. I am a long friend of Mrs. Scarborough. We've known each other for over 20 plus years. We're working on the sound, so please forgive us for the sound. So I am a life coach now, and I kind of focus on transforming the mindset so that we can actually focus on success. And hey, I'm just excited to be a guest here, and I'm excited to talk about this fantastic movie titled Self-Made, because we are all trying to be self-made millionaires.
So we're going to go over some of the things that we went over yesterday, the last 2 days. So the last 2 days, we talked about a few things, a few takeaways, right? So we talked about telling your story, building confidence, being a product of a product, and also we talked about kindness, and we talked about boundaries. And those are the main components that you need to have within your business. So tonight, we're going to talk about our takeaways from CJ Madam Walker, and we're going to talk about planting the seed, and we're going to refer back to some of the scenes from CJ Walker that refers to planting the seed. And then also we're going to definitely talk about perseverance, because we do need perseverance in our life. And then we're going to talk about anything else that we felt that we took away from Madam CJ Walker. So I am just going to take it off by talking about planting the seed in your business. So planting your seed in the business, and what I got from Madam CJ Walker from the scenes was from the time that she took those products and went out into the market, she planted a seed for herself, because even though she wasn't thinking entrepreneur of her own business, she was thinking helping this other woman and becoming in partnership with her. So that seed was already planted inside her. But then when she got rejected because of what she did, which she wasn't supposed to do that, right? I thought that was wrong for her to take somebody else's products without their permission and go out in the world and sell it. So that was a bold move on her, but we wouldn't want somebody to do that to our business as well. So that's why we talked about those boundaries. But she planted a seed for herself because this is something that she wanted to do. This is a passion that she wanted to do. So what she did, she made that same product better. So it was a better smell, a better product, and people loved the product. They fell in love with the product. So she planted a seed for herself, and that's how she became a millionaire in her business. And not only that, she planted seeds for other women of color, but I'm going to say women of any nationalities or ethnics or whatever. It's just women, period. Even though back then it was for women of color, but it was seed. It was a seed planted for everyone to start that business for a woman, because it was a man's world back then, right? So here's a woman fighting her way through to make a successful business and build a successful business for herself. Now, she came across many stumbling blocks. So as you can see, her house got burned down. She couldn't find the funding. People would not invest into her company. So it was a lot of things that she was stumbling with, but she planted that seed. And each time you plant that seed, you put in water. It's just like if you're planting a plant, right? You put the seed in the ground and you're expecting that thing to grow and to blossom. But what do we have to do? We have to nurture it. We got to feed it. We have to be persistent and consistent at it in order for it to grow. So that also is the same for your business. So I'm just going to take it over to Latisha, and I'm going to ask her to give me her takeaway from Madam C.J. Walker series about planting your seed.
Yeah, awesome. So I definitely agree with all of Tika's points regarding with planting that seed. The one thing that I want to add to the whole planting of her seed is that when C.J. Walker was inside that market for the first time, and she was standing there with those tents that she had borrowed, and she was standing there, and for a long time she had no one around her. So she was kind of like standing there like, you know what, I know I can market this product, I know I can sell it. And so the takeaway that I get from this part of the scene is that when she started telling her story, that's when she got people coming to her, and that's when they started to buy the product. And with her telling her story, she took that throughout the whole scene of the series, as she always told her story, and every time she told her story, she would get more and more successful. So my takeaway is that understanding your story, being able to tell it, being able to articulate it, is also key for successful entrepreneurs. So that was my takeaway.
Thank you, Tish. Thank you, Tish, for that. So number 2, what else did I get from that? I got perseverance. This woman pushed. And she pushed. And the thing about it, there's some things that I liked about it and some things that I didn't. Okay. So as far as her perseverance, she believed in herself and she was not going to take no for an answer. So no matter how many no's she got, she kept pushing. She was a little discouraged, but she was like, no, we can do this. She got herself to be even more excited about doing it. Even when her husband was like, come on, babe, you need to go back to work. And she's like looking like, okay, so this is what we're going to do with the business. And she was like, I don't want to hear that. This is not going to happen. This business is going to take off, okay? Whether you believe it or not. What's important is that I believe it. So a lot of us got into the business. Family members don't support us. Friends and society looking at us like we crazy, like entrepreneur. I know you as A, B, and C. Go and get your 9-to-5, girl, and get that consistent income. But no, we have a dream. We have a vision that we want. She had that vision, and she was not letting go of that vision. She was like, no, we're going to keep on going. I don't care. We got to put this house up for sale. We're going to get that money. And what happened? The house burned down. She had people come in as investors. Even when her husband came in drunk to try to sabotage it, they was like, we ain't getting in this mess. But guess what? She did not let that stop her from building her business. She had a dream, she had a vision, and she was not going to let anybody get in her way. Now, what I didn't like about it is that she was putting her husband down. Although he was like, no, babe, let's do this. But whatever she said, he still stuck by her side no matter what. And he was working his behind off to help her with this business along with other family members and friends. But she kept putting this man down. He wouldn't allow this man to talk, just pushed him away. And that was the one part I didn't like, because you got to remember, as entrepreneurs, we still have to make time for family, friends. We need that space, that outlet where it's not about business. It's about being together with your family, because you have to build a business and keep your family as well. You don't want to lose your family, because you're going to be on top, and you're going to be on top by yourself, alone. Okay. She ended up with no husband, even though she had her daughter was there, but still she pushed him away. And that was the one person that I could say who had her back, and he was there. Okay. So I'm going to hand it over to Tish, so she can give her takeaway from what I said. Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, so right now we're talking about perseverance. And I think coming from being that I I focus on mindset, and I really, really understand the power of mindset. What I took away from this movie, and I know this is Hollywood made for TV, and so there are certain instances in this film when she would be looking at herself in the mirror. So when she was going through that time of not believe that, negative energy, she was able to lift herself up. And so my takeaway is that she was very, very good at reducing her negative self-talk and turning that into a positive self-talk so that she continued to move. Because, I guess as a mindset coach, her looking in the mirror, her like having that conversation with herself, I recognize what she's doing is okay. I'm here. This happened. Am I going to make it? Is this going to work out? Is this going to work? But she was able to really, really have that internal conversation with herself, which is very, very important for everyone. It's our internal conversation that we have with ourselves. She was able to will herself to believe in herself, believe in her vision, and to believe that it would work. So for me, coming from that mindset part of it, I think that she did a great job at managing her negative self-talk, and that she was able to turn any negative thought that she had into a positive thought so that she continued to go on. And like Tifa, as far as with, the way she did treat her husband, I do believe in business that one person can do it all, but I do believe that we build great teams, we grow together. So I do believe that the way I know that she was super, super focused and she was determined, but we don't want to make the mistake of being so focused, so determined that we turn everybody away, and then at the end we are alone. So I definitely agree with what she said with that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Tish. Okay, guys. So we talked about planting that seed, and we definitely talked about perseverance, and she had some perseverance. Okay. She was knocking somebody out just to get what she wanted. So I just want to open it up to anybody who's in the group. What did you take away from Madam CJ Walker, if you did see that? So if you can click on the link, I'm not even sure the link is there. It's probably not, but just comment, and then we can come back, definitely come back, and we can comment on your comments afterwards. But we definitely wanted to hear about you. So it was another thing that I took away from Madam CJ Walker was how to set yourself apart. How do you set yourself apart from your competitors? So we must, as entrepreneurs, should not be afraid of our competitors or compete with our competitors. I mean, we in a competing world, but my thing is, my personal opinion, I'm concentrating on my lane, okay? And concentrating on what I need to do for my business. Although you want to look and see what your competitors are doing, but at the same time, you don't want to get involved with, oh, I can make this better, I could do this better, or whatever. No, they have their secret sauce, and you need to create your secret sauce. And that's what she did. She created her secret sauce. Now, although at the end of the movie, she admitted that she did take the woman's ingredients from the grease, all right? However, she made that product better. Okay. Parker says, speak up for yourself. Ain't nobody else going to take you across the finish line but you. Exactly, Philippa. Okay. So she made that product better, but she added her little secret sauce to make that a little bit better. Okay. So there was some things in there that I agree with and some things I did not agree with. Okay. But she did what she had to do to make things happen for her. And she did it for the greater good. She wanted to help other women build their businesses. Whereas Addie, she just wanted money. She just wanted people to just buy her products. There was no story behind it. It was like she wasn't wooing her clients. And that's what we have to do as entrepreneurs. We got to woo our clients. But how are we going to woo them? Are we going to be like everybody else, or are we going to set ourselves apart? Now, let's take virtual assistants, right? You see a virtual everywhere you go, left, right, front, back, all around. You have virtual assistants, right? Competing for clients, competing with each other, right? You have some that's competing and some that's just doing their thing. But as a virtual assistant, you have to find that one secret sauce that's going to set you apart from everybody else. And that's what we got to do every single day. And this is where I say repeat and rinse. Repeat everything. Trial and error. right? You're going to keep on doing things, and then you're going to get feedback. And this is where you get your testimonials. This is where you ask for feedback from your clients. How am I doing? Don't wait until the end of the contract. Make it a monthly thing. Hey, how am I doing? Are you am I meeting your expectations? You want to know, are you okay? Are you great? You want to know these things. And don't be afraid to ask people. Don't even be afraid to ask your clients, okay? Because you want to find that secret sauce that stands out from the rest. Now, a lot of people come to me, and the first thing that they say to me is that I resonate with you because you're so transparent. You don't make things seem like you doing this and trying to compete with everybody. You being real with me. You telling me that you got a 9-to-5 job. You got your business, and I'm working on my business. And I'm not worrying about, oh, this person is making $1 million. Now let me go and get myself all dressed up and show I got a fancy house or whatever and things like that. Addie was taught that her prettiness would bring people to her. There was not much foundation to her. Yes. Thank you, Philippa. Okay. That is all she had going for herself. There was no secret sauce about her. It was about greed and about what it's going to do for her, not what it's going to do for her clients. She didn't care. Even when she went back and she was telling the salespeople, oh, just tell them, don't forget about the smell. Just tell them that they're going to look like me. What kind of salesperson is that? What kind of manager and leader that is. So now I'm going to take it over to Tish, and she's going to give me her take on that as well. And anything else that you want to add to it, Tish?
Definitely. I agree with everything she said. I'm gonna say that although Addie was perhaps a little, it's really hard for me to describe her character because she came from this world where she was fairer skinned and she had long hair, and pretty much that happens today. You know what I mean? So it's not really much different from then and here. She was, actually afforded some opportunities that darker skinned Black women didn't have, and you didn't have nappy, we had nappy, whatever. But she was afforded some opportunities that others did not have, and she used that to her advantage. I'm not going to say that if that was right or wrong, but what I will say is that she took that to be the only reason why she should be successful, and that was her downfall. So CJ went to her and she's like, hey, I told you I could sell these tins. I told you I could sell these tins. And she sold all 20 of them, and she gave her the money, and she was so excited. Like, she was like, because CJ Walker thought because she was not beautiful, she was not pretty, she was not like nothing like Addie, but she was able to sell. She felt like, I got this, I can do this. And this is where she got the entrepreneur in her, because she realized she could do it. So when she realized she could do it, but Addie said to her, I would never team up with the likes of you. I was like, whoa. I was like, oh, that was pretty like, and so can you imagine yourself being, I've been there before, being a woman who didn't feel very confident about herself, didn't feel like I compared to women next to me, and I felt like I wasn't deserving because I didn't meet this quote unquote look. And how CJ Madam Walker was able to overcome that, to me, was amazing. And at the end of the movie, a very, very pivotal part of this movie is at the end, when her and Addie had that last conversation. She's like, hey, I may have taken your product, yeah, sure. But she said, I wanted to work with you. I wanted to do this together. And then Addie, although Addie didn't really say nothing at that time, had she kind of like done it together, we wouldn't know what kind of company we have right now. There'd probably be a powerhouse company right now that would still be going on right now. But the real Addie in the movie, she actually was rich, and she was a millionaire as well. She just didn't die with her money. So I did research on the real Addie. This might take away from those parts is that Addie was using what she had. A lot of us as entrepreneurs, it is important to use what we have, but it's also important to be authentic and to allow for other things to manifest, and not just, what it is you had, because that will get you so far. But it's the extra stuff you put to it. Are you providing excellent customer service? Are you meeting the deliverables, right? Are you providing good work? That's what's going to set you apart. So that was my little add-on to that conversation.
Thank you, Tish. Also, so the last thing that I took away from this, I wrote in my notes, never lose your cool, just build up your confidence. And then also we talked about Addie and CJ. They encounter a lot in the movie. But that was the part where CJ messed up, because she started concentrating more on trying to compete with her. And they was just going back at it with each other instead of just saying, okay, you know what? You do what you do and I do what I do. I'm not going to worry about competing with you because I know the reason why I got into this business. So that is one of the other things that she should have had did. She should have kept her cool about it and just build up her confidence, which she has built up her confidence a whole lot because she was persevering. She was making sure that she was making this business successful for herself as well as every other woman to come after. And then the last but not least, I put endorsement. I think that's very important as an entrepreneur is getting endorsements and working on something like that. Someone that is an influencer. We don't have to have an influencer in our business in order for us to make to be successful. But if it's someone that you have as a mentor, someone that you follow, someone that you help and you comment and you involve with them and you like their values. My thing is this, it's in the ask. If you ask, you know you're going to get the answer. Philippa said there's room enough for everyone. Exactly. It's in the ask. My thing is don't be afraid to ask for what you want. The worst thing a person could say is no, right? That's just like when you're finding clients and you want to accept as many no's as you want. Because let me tell you something, all those no's is going to eventually turn into a yes. But because of Madam CJ Walker persevering, and she heard a lot of no's, especially during that time for a Black woman. So that was even harder back then. Okay. And now you have women who have made the way, the pathway for us to persevere. We have it easier than they did back then. So this little thing, little bumps in road that we're going through is nothing compared to what they had to go through back then. So I hope that movie inspired any of y'all. You're right. You take the good, you take the bad. But my thing is that you take the meat, you eat the meat and you spit out the bones. So I took the positive and I took the negative out of it. So my thing is that what have you learned from these past 3 days that I have been going live sharing you my takeaways from Madam CJ Walker? I'm going to take it over to Tish and let her give her little last spill about this. And then we're going to wrap it up because we're going live on the business page.
What I took from this movie are a couple of things. So I'll tell you how I felt after I watched the movie. I felt empowered. I felt inspired. I felt a sense of self-love for myself. I felt a sense of, you know what? It's not that bad. My struggles are not that bad. And I felt very, very motivated and determined. So for me, the movie was very, very, very beneficial to me. A couple things that I want to hit up is that Chico said something about, so ask what you want. So a lot of what I kind of do in my coaching area is that I tell my clients that they need to learn how to speak what they want. So ask for what you desire. So in whatever it is that you want, you have to be able to ask for what you want. You have to actually be able to work towards what you say you want, okay? So our words are so powerful. Speak to ourselves and to others, they're very, very powerful. So I just encourage everybody today, just as my part as a mindset coach, to be very, very mindful of the words you use over your life and in your business and speak what you desire, ask what you desire, and remember, not only asking for it, but make sure you're able to accept it to plate and work for it. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Tish. That was wonderful. So I'm glad that everyone joined us live, joined in. Thank you for joining in on these 3 days. I hope that you learned something, even if you didn't see the show. I hope that we inspired you to go on Netflix and see the series yourself, and then come back into the group and share what your takeaways were from the movie. So we are going to end this live. We thank you for joining us live. And for those who are going to join us on the replay, put in hashtag replay. And you have any questions, please let us know. And just remember, Tish is a mindset coach. So if you want to reach out to her, she has some freebies out there that she can share with the group if you want to opt into any of her freebies for the mindset. All right, guys, have a blessed night.
Thank you for listening to Vision, Impact, and Purpose with Coach Tikwa. Be sure to tune in again for new episodes and visit her website at tqNO.com.